Hello, brothers and sisters. I greet you all in Jesus' name. So it's your boy King Dami once again, and I'm here with another video. And this time around, I'll be talking about faith. Now, guys, faith is very, very important. It's a very important concept. Faith is definitely an important concept that we all need to know. We all need to know about faith. So, guys, if you look at our environment, look at the world around us, look at the structure of the world. Now, look at our species. Look at we as humans. Look at animals. Look at plants. Look at animals. Now, look at all these things. These things are created in a specific order, right? You agree with me that these things are of detailed design. Now, these things are not random. You understand? Because they're not random, because they're ordered, because they're in an orderly fashion. You agree with me that they have to be a creator. You understand? There have to be a creator that is more powerful than us. Yeah, exactly. That is more intelligent than us. That would have created all these things. That would have brought it into existence, right? So, given the structure of man, we as man, we are greater than all the animals. We have more intelligence. We are structured in a different form. You understand? We are the only humans. We are the only animals that can stand upright. You agree with me that we have high intelligence compared to other species around us. You understand? So given this concept, you agree with me that they have to be a creator, right? Yeah. So they have to be a creator. So, but how do we know this creator? So this is where faith comes into play. Now, so guys, what is faith? Faith is what? Now, it's believing without seeing, right? So that's what faith is all about. So now we know that, yeah, of course, there has to be a creator. If you're a sane person, yeah, there has to be a creator. So, but now, how do we know about this creator since we haven't seen him, right? We haven't seen him physically. We haven't seen him, but we have heard about him. And so this is where faith comes into play. Now, what is faith, and how do we exercise faith in this modern age? So that's what I'll be talking about in this video. Now, so guys, we have different religions, right? We have Islam, we have Christianity, we have Judaism, we have Buddhism, we have a lot of religion. And now this religion, they all claim the same thing, that there's a God that is greatest, is has power to create all of us and all of that. And is the creator, understand? So the central theme of all this religion is that there's a God. So that's an important concept. That's the central theme, that is a God. Now this God, they are not the same. You understand? The God specific to this religion is different from this other religion. So is there not a confusion there? So because of all this religion and teachings, how do we know which one is true? How do we know which one is true? So, guys, this is the reality. The reality is that to know which is true, number one, there have to be evidence. There have to be evidence. Evidence is very, very important. As a sane person, you agree with me that without evidence, you can't know whether something is true or not. So evidence is what separates truth from facts, truth from myths. Understand? So without evidence, guys, it's false. And if you're living in a false religion, if you're working in a false faith, then you're probably wasting your time. But guys, this is what I always tell people. As for me, I respect a sane person, a person that, yeah, that have faith, that believe in the existence of God, and also a person that that works in ethics. Understand? So ethics, regardless of your faith, ethics is a central theme. Understand? Ethics will tell you that you should love your neighbor. Ethics will tell you that you should walk in the truth. Ethics will tell you that you should live a righteous life, that you should live an upright life. That's ethics, and this ethics is also this ethics is also common to majority of all this religion. Yeah, they'll tell you to keep the commandments. They'll tell you to obey God. They'll tell you to love your neighbor as yourself. Yeah, these things are very, very important, guys. They are very important also. So now, so coming back to the faith matter, like I said, faith is what is believing without seeing. But since we believe that there is a God, and now this is the problem, we have many religions out there that are claiming that that there's a God, you should follow him. But the problem is that these gods are different. You understand? They're different in character, they're different in form, they're different in teachings, they're different in qualities. You understand? But how do we know which one is true? So, guys, like I said, the way to determine which religion is true with evidence. You understand? That's very important. Now, when you look at Baal and Elijah. Now, what happened? The prophet of Baal, they had their god. They're worshiping God, idols. You understand? Prophet of Baal, they're worshiping Baal, of course. Now, what happened? Elijah was tired of them, and he was trying to tell these people that this thing they're worshiping is not true. You understand? It's not true. Yeah, we all know that there's a God. You have your own God, which is Baal. I have my own God, which is Jehovah. You understand? So, but now Elijah tells them that This is what is going to happen. We're gonna gather one place and we're gonna set on an altar. Understand? So you're gonna pray to your God. I'm also gonna pray to my God. And whosoever whosoever our request get answered, it means that that God is the right God, right? So that's what Elijah does. Why? He's following what the principle of what evidence. So that's what I said, guys. Evidence is very important. If there's no evidence, guys, what you're doing is wrong. What you're doing is false. And yes, I mean, there are a lot of people that are working in false or in a false sense of faith, and it's gonna be so painful at the end of the day because they'll get themselves deceived. They'll get themselves thinking that, oh, I've just wasted my time. Oh, what I was doing after all was a lie. Understand? That kind of thing is that kind of thing is very very difficult to comprehend. It's very difficult to no, it's very very difficult to comprehend. So now look at what Elijah did. He said, "We're going to pray. You're going to pray to your God. I'm also going to pray to my God, and whatever our requests get answered, that God is the right God, right?" So that's very, very important. Now, and of course, Elijah prayed, and the other prophets they also prayed. And what happened? God answered Elijah, right? So it means that the God that Elijah served was the right God. Now, if you bring that concept into this modern age that we are right now, that's the concept of evidence, and that evidence I'm talking about spiritual evidence, talking about powers, I'm talking about miracles. Now it's very, very important. Miracles, they play a major role in faith. They play a major role in preaching to people. They play a major role in convincing people that this God that we serve is the right God. You understand? Now bringing that concept into this modern reality, if I were to if I were to go up against other the faith of other people like Islam and Buddhist and all of that, and if I were to do the same thing, now will God answer me just like God answered Elijah? Now this is the place that is very very subtle. Now, if God doesn't answer me, does it prove that the God I'm serving is wrong? Now that's the point too. Does it prove that the God I'm serving is wrong? Now, because what I'm saying this is because I've read a lot about miracles. I've read a lot about the miracles in the past. How God has used so many great men of God to heal the sick, to raise the dead, and to do diverse things. You understand? We've heard about these things in the time of the apostle. Read about these things during the time of Jesus. And yes, God was with them, right? The God that they served were real because of this spiritual evidence. Now, if you bring that concept back into this age, you agree with me that, guys, evidence is very important. So, so guys, if that kind of thing were to happen, if God answer me, if God doesn't answer me, at that point in time, I will not be convinced that the God I'm serving is true. You understand? Yeah, it's normal. It's logic. It's logical not to be convinced that the God you're serving is true because why? Um, we all believe that there's God and that God is powerful and that God can do anything, but yet we want to convince people. We want to even ourselves. We want to be convinced because so guys, you understand that kind of thing that you believe that there's God, you believe in miracles, and yet at the end of the day, you pray for someone that is sick, and yet the person doesn't get healed, and in your mind you begin to doubt that what is happening, God. Does it mean that the God I'm serving is false? Or have I been introduced to a false God? Or have I been deceived all this while? Now, I want you to open your mind to the reality of life. That it's possible that you can be deceived. Yes, it's very, very possible. It's possible that I can be deceived. It's possible that I've been serving a false God. It's possible that even my religion is false. You understand? It's very, very possible. That's why we need evidence. That's why we need evidence, guys. Evidence is very, very important. And it's very, very sad that many of the miracles that have happened in Christianity, yeah, many of the miracles that have happened, they're all fake. You understand? Many of it are fake. You understand? Many of it are fake. Like, I don't want to call some names of all these modern pastors and all that, but guys, you agree with me that many of these miracles that modern pastors do right now are fake. So they're all fake. These same pastors, if you tell them to go to the hospital and start healing people, they're not going to do it because why? They know that what they're doing is fake. You understand? And because of that, people have been deceived. Many people now they've left Christianity and are thinking that this God that we're even serving is wrong. You understand? It's false. This religion is false. That kind of thing. Because why? God is saying that that there's evidence. You understand? The Bible tells us that there's evidence. There's spiritual evidence that we serve a true God. That this evidence they come in the form of spiritual reality. They come in the form of healing. They come in the form of raising the dead. They come in the form of healing the sick. Now, these evidence are very, very important. Why? Because they are. If Jesus Christ were not to perform any of these evidences, will many people believe in him? Will people believe that he's the servant of God? Will people believe that he has been sent by God? No. Why? Because even Jesus Christ had to know that this is a very, very important word. It's a very, very important concept. It's very, very important that he performed this miracle so that people will believe in him. You understand? So it's very, very important. So, but guys, in this our present time, I'm here to be convinced. Why? Because a lot of these miracles I've not seen it happen. You understand? I've not seen it happen. But because I'm not convinced doesn't mean that I'm not working in faith. Now, this is where working in faith, like I said, which is the topic of this video, this is where it comes into play. Now, because I've not been convinced by the miracles that I've been hearing about, by the miracles of faith, the miracles of right, raising the dead, praying for the sick, and all that. Yeah, but it doesn't mean that I'm not following God. It doesn't mean that I'm not working in faith. I still believe that there's a God, but I'm not convinced yet that the God I'm serving right now is a true God. So that's what I want to talk about. Why? Because until I see these miracles, until I see these signs, until I see this evidence, that's when I'll be convinced. You understand? And now, why am I saying this? I'm saying this because walking in faith doesn't mean that you shouldn't be stupid. You understand? So that's the line I want to draw to you guys. Walking in faith doesn't mean that you shouldn't be stupid. Now, think about it. You are sick. You have been diagnosed with malaria, of course, and yeah, because God is in the Bible that when we pray that God answers our prayer. And you begin to pray that God, I'm sick. God heal me from my sickness. And guys, you know you're sick. You have malaria. If you don't treat yourself, you're gonna die. And you know also that there's a drug out there that can cure that malaria. Wouldn't you guys, being logical, wouldn't you go to the hospital and rather get a drug and cure yourself than to pray and oh God, I know that God can do all these things. I'm gonna go, yeah, yeah. And you pray and your prayer doesn't get answered because definitely, I don't know, but I believe that my prayers will not be answered. I believe that God will not answer that particular prayer because why God knows that God knows, and I also know that there's a drug out there that can cure my sickness. So why should I be praying? Why should I be? Wouldn't I be testing God? Won't I be doing something foolish? And at the same time, I'll be thinking that I'm walking in faith. So guys, I want you to get that clear. Walking in faith is different from foolishness, although there's a line between foolishness and faith. Because if you look at the past, God will also tell disciples, or God will often tell his children to do something foolish. You understand? Like the miracle that God performed, that Jesus Christ performed, turning water to wine. What did he tell them? He told them to fill those jars with what? With water. And they were like, why to fill this with water? This is not something foolish. They need the wine and you want to serve them water. How is this water going to turn to wine? So you see, guys. So and also look at what happened. Um, if you look at what happened, Jesus Christ, God instructed the children of Israel to walk around Jericho 7 times, right? That also, it sounds like foolishness, but it's also faith. So now, if you come down back now to this our present age, so because you know that there's a drug that can cure that malaria, so guys, the logical thing to do is not to pray for God to heal you. No, is to what? Is to go to the hospital, get a drug, and heal yourself. Don't be foolish, guys. Don't be foolish. Don't because you have faith. Don't because you're working faith. Ignore your present reality. Yes, I don't ignore your present reality. What's the present reality? If you are sick, treat yourself. Otherwise, you're gonna die. You understand? Secure yourself. If you don't guard your house, thief will break into your house. Yeah. So that's all. These are realities. These are truths that don't need faith to work. You understand? They don't need faith to work. They don't need you to believe in God to work. That truths. That's truths. You understand? That fundamental fact that we all know that they are likely to work. You understand? So guys, at the same time, when you're working in faith, don't ignore your present circumstances, guys. You know you need money, and many of us we pray for money, and I'm looking at you. You're very stupid. Why are you praying for money when what you can do is to get a job. What you can do is to get a degree. What you can do is to examine your present reality, examine your present circumstances. How do I need money. Be logical, guys. If you need money, what are you going to do? Start a business. Don't go about praying to God that God, I need money. God, I need this, I need that. No, guys. Work towards it. Get a job. Be logical. You understand? That's the concept I'm trying to pass to you guys. Be logical, guys. There's a difference between what faith, working in faith, and being logical and and also living in the present. You understand? So now, so like I said before, because there are no evidence, right? So I'm not still convinced that the God I'm serving is the true God. So I'm still open. So that's why. So because many of us Christians, now I'm not saying that I'm not trying to belittle you. I'm not trying to. I'm also a Christian myself. I also believe in God. I also believe that the God I'm serving is a true God. But I'm not at the same time. I'm not also condemning other religion. You understand? So guys, don't do that mistake, guys. Don't condemn other religion. Don't condemn other religion. Don't because you have not seen the evidence yet. So don't say that your religion is true and others are false. Don't say the God that you serve is true and the God that others are serving are false until the evidence persists. Now, the logical thing for me to do is that number one, I know that there have to be evidence. And the evidence, like I said, the other evidence, the other forms of evidence, but the most important, the other forms of evidence, you agree with me, there's historical evidence, there's historical evidence, history. You know, there are also many forms of evidence, also in the scriptures, also in the books that the religious books that people use. You understand? You look for the evidence within it. But guys, you agree with me that the most undisputed evidence, the most undisputable evidence is spiritual evidence. Now, anybody in his right sense, if he sees that spiritual evidence, there's no way to doubt that this is false, guys, because you are seeing it. Because it is something that it's something that is tangible. You understand? Look at Thomas. Thomas was like, he was doubting Christ, and to me, it's not a bad thing to doubt. Guys, it's not a bad thing to doubt, guys. Don't be thinking that you're less spiritual when you begin to doubt. No, you're not less spiritual. You're just being logical. You're being natural. You're being a natural man. You understand? It's natural within us to doubt. It's natural. It's natural within you to doubt that, God, what is happening in my life? Why am I like this? Why am I living like my life like this? I'm serving you, God. It's natural. You understand? And I'll agree with you, it's natural because it's not easy. The Bible says that our faith will be tried. You understand? Our faith is going to be tried. God is going to test us beyond our limits. He's going to test us beyond our limits. You understand? We're going to pass through fire. We're going to pass through tribulation. We're going to pass through temptation. We're going to pass through a lot of things. And at the same time, guys, you have to exercise faith. That exercising of faith is that you believe, number one, that there's a God, because you don't have to be a fool. Only a fool that will think that there's no God. You understand? So, guys, there's a God. But now the real question is that which God is the right God? Which God is the true God? And for us to know that, we have to look for evidence, be it historical evidence, be it spiritual evidence, be it signs and wonders and all of that. So, but for me, guys, yeah, I believe in historical evidence. But the main evidence that we need to